Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where we make learning English both funny and effective. In this series, I will be sharing with you the exact method I use to improve my English. Every day I will take a page from the famous five on a treasure island. Read it with you and focusing on the 20 new words from that page. Together we're exploring their meanings, learning how to use them in a sentence, and even do some simple exercise to understand the page better. To make it easy for you, I will provide a PDF version of the book in the description box below. This step-by-step approach helped me a lot, and I am confident it will help you too. So let's start the journey together and make learning English an enjoyable experience. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me every day for a new lesson. Today, I will share with you page 24. Reading and explanation, your guide to mastering English. 20 vocabulary words. Bathe, splashing, struck, proud, struggling, tip, wondering, gratefully, glowing, marvelous, excited, important, hardly, refuse, consentant, fun, tidy, supper, eagerly, visit. They went off the bathing in the sea for the fifth time that day. Soon they were all splashing about happily, and George found time to help and to swim. The little girl hadn't got the right stroke, and George felt really proud when she had taught her. "Oh, thanks," said Anne, struggling alone. "I'll never be as good as you, but I'd like to be as good as the boys." As they were going home, George spoke to Julian. "Could you say that you want to go and buy stamp or something?" she said. "Then I could go with you and just have a peep at old Tim. I'll be wondering when I haven't taken him out today." "Right," said Julian. "I don't want stamps, but I could do with an ice. Dick and Anne can go home with your mother and cry. Thanks, I'll just go and tell Aunt Fanny." He ran up to his aunt. "Do you mean if I go and buy some ice creams?" he asked. "We haven't had one today. I wanted the long. Can George go with me?" "I don't expect she will want to," said his aunt, "but you can ask her." "George, come with me," yelled Julian, setting off to the little village at a great pace. George gave a stunned grin and ran after him. She soon caught him up and smiled gratefully at him. "Thanks," she said. "You go and get the ice creams and you'll have a look at Tim." They parted. Julian bought for ice creams and turned to go home. He waited about for George, who came running up after a few minutes. Her face was glowing. "He's all right," she said, "and you can't imagine how pleased he was to see me. He nearly jumped over my head. I say others scream for me. You really are a sport, Julian. You'll have to share something with you quickly. What about going to my island tomorrow?" "Golly," said Julian, his eyes shining. "That would be marvelous. Will you really take us tomorrow? Come on, let's tell the others." The four children sat in the garden eating their ices. Julian told them what George had said. They all felt exciting. George was pleased. She had always felt quite important before when she had hardly refused to take any of the other children to see Kieran Island, but it felt much nicer somehow to have consented to run her castles there. I used to think it was much nice always to do things on my own, she thought as she suckered the last bits of her eyes. But it isn't going to be fine down thanks with Julian and the others. The children were sent to witch themselves and to get tidy before supper. They talk eagerly about the visit to the island next day. Their aunt heard them and smiled. The explanation of the 20 important words from the text: bathe, to wash or swimming in water; splashing, making water moving all around noisily; stroke, away from moving around and legs while swimming; proud, feeling happy about something you've done well; struggling, trying hard to do something difficult; peep, a quick look; wondering, thinking about something curiously; gratefully, showing thanks; glowing, shining or looking very happy; marvelous, wonderful or amazing; excited, feeling very happy and eager; hardly, acting in a proud or superior way; consented, agreed to something; supper, the evening meal; eagerly, with excitement and enthusiasm; tidy, need and organize; visit, going to see a place or person; important, having great value or significance; refuse, say no to something; fun, enjoyment or amusement; opposite, antonyms of the 20 words: bathe, dirty or soil; splashing, still or calm; stroke, stillness or inaction; proud, ashamed; struggling, succeeding or effortless; peep, stare or gaze; wondering, knowing or certain; gratefully, ungratefully; glowing, dull; marvelous, ordinary or mediocre; excited, bored; important, unimportant or trivial; hardly, humbly; refused, accepted; consented, denied; fun, boring or dull; tidy, messy; supper, breakfast or fasting; eagerly, reluctantly; visit, leave or depart. 8 comprehension questions based on the text, each with 4 answer options to help you understand the story better. Why did George feel proud? Because she won a race, because she taught and how to swimming, because she bought ice creams, because she visited the island. The answer of this question in the text sound they were all splashing about happily, and George found time to help and to swim. The little girl hadn't get the right stroke, and George felt really proud when she had thought and found time to help and to swim. Yes, is the answer because she taught Ant how to swim, is the answer of this question. Question number two. What did George ask Julian to do so she could see Tim? Buy stamps, go for walk, buy ice creams, visit the island. The answer of this question in the text, as they were going home, George spoke to Julian. Could you say that you want to go and buy a stamp as something? Said she said. Then I could go with you and just have a peep at all 10. Yes, buy stamps is the answer. Question number three. How did George feel when she saw Timothy? Sad, angry, happy, and glowing, bored. The answer of this question, they paired Julian both for ice creams and turned to the go home. He waited about for George. When come running up after a few minutes, her face were glowing. Yes, is the answer. Happy and glowing. What did Julian buy in the village? Stamps, ice creams, books, toys. The answer of this question in the text, Julian both for ice creams. Yes, ice creams is the answer of this question. What did Julian suggested they do the next day? Go swimming, visit Kern Island, buy more ice creams, stay at home. The answer of this question in the text, he's all right, so she said, and you can't imagine how pleased he was to see me. He nearly jumped over my head. Say another ice creams for me. You really are a sport, Julian. It's have to share it something with you quickly. What about going to my island tomorrow? Yes, visit Karen Island is the answer of this question. Question number six. How did George used to feel about doing things on her own? She hated it. She thought it was much nice. She was scared to be alone. She never tried it. The answer of this question in the text, she had always felt quite important before when she had thoughtfully refused Hattie refused to take any of the other children to see Kern Island, but it felt much nice somehow to have consented to row her cousin there. Yes, is the answer. She thought it was much nice. What did the children take about eagerly before supper? Buying stamps, visiting Kern Island, swimming in the sea, eating ice creams. The answer of this question in the text, the children were sent to watch themselves and to get tired before supper. They talking eagerly about the visit to the island next day. Yes, is the answer. She fell. No. Visit Kern Island. Yes, is the answer of this question. Visiting Kern Island. How did George feel about taking her cousin to the island? She felt annoyed, she felt proud and happy, she felt scared, she felt bored. The answer of this question in the text, George was pleased. She had always felt quite important before when she had heartily refused to take any of the other children to see Cairn Island. But it felt much nice somehow to have constant to row her cousin there. Yes, she felt proud and happy, is the answer of this question. Now, to better understand and memorize the 20 words we shared today, I've provided a series of exercises for you to following. You found the PDF in the description box below. Find in the blanket and the answer, conversation you can practice in with yourself, and write exercise and crossword puzzle. Goodbye and see you in a new video.
Subscribe now.